everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Sisters podcast, where we give you our point of view. We're proud members of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. I am your host, Tamia Harper. I am joined today by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Ton.
Hello.
And Sabrina Wood.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. What's happening? To say that in... because we miss Fran. Hi, Fran. So what's happening is that we are doing a really special edition of the show today because we are going to do a show for the Star Trek Pod Crawl. So yay! Everybody say yay.
Yay.
Thank
Yay.
you. There we go. So welcome to the Star Trek Pod Crawl, the greatest generation podcast. Hi, friends. Is celebrating 9 years. Woohoo!
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know, right? That is so cool.
Congrats.
I can't wait till we say we're celebrating 9 years. It's dope, man. So they had an idea that this would be a great way for the listeners of a bunch of Star Trek podcasts to get to know some of the other shows out there, and for our podcasting community to use its reach, to do something good and hopeful for science education, which, we're all about as well. So we are helping them to raise money for the National Center for Science Education. And the National Center for Science Education promotes and defends accurate and effective science education because everyone deserves to engage with the evidence. So today, we will be covering Star Trek: The Voyage Home, Star Trek 4, y'all. Dun, da, 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 da. In this special episode, as part of a larger series spanning 7 Star Trek podcasts. So it began with Star Trek: The Motion Picture, brought to you by The Greatest Generation, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, brought to you by The Seventh Rule, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, brought to you by Open Pike Night. Hi, guys. Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, brought to you by us. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, brought to you by our friends at Mission Log, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, brought to you by Women at Warp, and Star Trek Generations, brought to you by Star Trek: The Next Conversation. So you can check out the other podcasts covering the films in the pod crawl by visiting the links in our show notes. So you get to have the idea like a pub crawl, y'all. Mm-hmm. We're doing a pod crawl. Go from one to the other, and you can do all the Star Trek movies in sequence. And so... yay!
I love that idea. I love this.
I know, right? It's so cool. So, Sabrina, can you give us a brief synopsis of our movie, The Voyage Home?
Sure can. Yes. So we are doing from 1986, The Voyage Home, directed by none other than Leonard Nimoy. And this is the highest grossing of the Star Trek films prior to the Kelvin movies. So adjusted for inflation, of course. So here we go. Little plot summary. To save Earth from an alien probe, Admiral James T. Kirk and his fugitive crew go back in time to San Francisco in 1986 to retrieve the only beings who can communicate with it, humpback whales. Whoa, okay, I love it. So this movie is one of my favorites. I actually have a poster of it up on my wall. You can't see it, but it's there. And I
never
really
noticed that.
You never did? Yeah, that is the one I have, The Voyage Home. Although, listen, Wrath of Khan is definitely my movie too, but then again, all of them are. Right. So I'm going to hand this back to Tamia because we were trying to figure out how we were going to do this instead of going all crazy. But so the thing is, I'm going to give you a little bit more about the movie before we do that. Okay, because I actually, when I'm not Sci-Fi Sister, I am Sin, right? Of course. So this film is one of the few science fiction films that was actually nominated for 4 Academy Awards, and one of them was Best Cinematography. So I really want you to watch this film closely because Donald Peterman definitely deserved this nomination as the head of photography for this film. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. It also was nominated for Best Sound because let me tell you, when the probe comes out with that I was scared. Oh my God. So definitely an Oscar nom for that. Best Special Effects, which was done with the help of Industrial Light and Magic. He came up with that glossy black pockmarked probe, and the great transporter effects that we had, and that wind and everything else. I mean, it was really great. So, best special effects, and then surprisingly, but not surprisingly, for a Star Trek film, best musical score by Leonard Rosenman. Yeah. So watch for this, because this is the movie, and of course the Sci-Fi Sisters got it with the 4 Academy Awards. So, all right, sisters, what do we think? You know what I think of it, but
it's so I found out, I always thought that Star Trek 6 was the first movie that my now ex-husband and I went to see together. But it was this one, he tells me. And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense because I was a freshman in college when this came out. So and then I thought, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. This is how we found out we both love Star Trek. And this was one of many dates. Yeah. Oh no, we were freshmen, so we had dated already. So yes, this was like our first Star Trek thing together.
Ooh,
it's and we still have Star Trek things together, even though we're divorced. We're still doing Star Trek things together. So I was like, wow, I didn't realize how much this movie was really part of our history, and I just didn't realize it. And when I watched it again, I forgot how good it was, honestly. There's all the TOS movies are so good, and I so disappointed with the next gen movies because these movies were so good. There was so much going on in these movies. Like there was an A and B plot, this one started out so serious. Right. And then it went to all these hijinks. And then it went back to being serious again. And it did a lot of, how we talk about these shows now have these, what are they called? Easter eggs, fan service type stuff. And this one had a great fan service, which I loved.
Absolutely.
At the end. They had everybody from TOS on it.
I was about to say, hold on to your three things.
Yeah, but that's what I loved about it.
That's what I loved. Start it. Yeah,
that's what I loved about it.
Say it. We're in it. Go expound.
Well, in the end, I didn't even notice it. I'm sure I never noticed the first time, but when I watched it, I was like, everybody from TOS is in this scene. When they all come out at the end. And they're all in a line. It looks like they're actually in rank order, and then Nurse Chapel and Rand. I think Rand is in the audience. It's like all of them in that scene. I don't think that's ever happened before. So, it gave me like, oh, I gotta watch a little TOS again.
Yeah,
it made me want to go back to that. Yeah,
I love that.
Well, there was so much I loved about this. So.
I know, right? Well,
and it really had nothing. It's funny because it really had nothing to do with the movie. Most of the stuff it's like all the background stuff that I found out that I love about it. So,
oh yeah, this movie has got a lot of background stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of firsts. Yeah, we talk about it all the time. So, go ahead. Sorry.
You sure?
Yeah. Host, take over.
Okay, so I mean, we already got into it. We were going to frame this discussion in a really simple way because there's a lot to talk about with this movie, and like I know that we were going to talk about the things, limiting it to 3 call outs of things that you loved, 3 shout outs, and limiting it to 3 head scratchers. If you can choose 3 head scratchers, if you have 3 head scratchers, so Yvette got us started with, the call out to the whole original crew, which was a beautiful moment, I love, well, you know what, Sabrina, let's go to you first and then I'll tell you.
Okay, well,
because I bet you and I are going to say the same thing first. So,
maybe. Okay, well, the thing I loved about this is that the very first line is said by Madge Sinclair. That's what I loved about this. We were going to say the same thing first. Oh no! Right, she's off screen, but she says, "What do you make of it?" And I was like, "I know that voice. I know that voice. All right, Captain of the Saratoga. What's going on? So that was the first thing that I really loved. Do you want me to give my other two, or should I just
Go for
my
it.
other two highlights? Okay. One of the things I really love about this is that they called back Nicholas Mayer to write this, and his vision on this, and I'm quoting him. He said, I wanted no dying, no fighting, no shooting, no photon torpedoes, no phaser blast, no stereotypical bad guy."
Yep.
So he wanted none of that in there. So instead, what he did, he put in, they lost the transporter, they lost the dilithium, they lost the whales, they lost Chekhov, and they lost power. And I just loved it. It was just give me one thing going wrong after another. I don't need any guns. I don't need any of this other stuff. And I love this about this movie. It was just pure, the ship and the mission. I love that.
Yep. It's funny you
Uh,
said the ship and the mission, and the ship wasn't really in the
It wasn't
in the
even our
movie.
ship, right?
the ship is who the crew is. That was
That's
what was
right.
so key for this.
That's
Yeah.
right,
It
and that's
was
why I
our
love the
bridge
end
crew.
so much. Yep.
Yes.
Right.
It didn't
Yep.
matter what rust bucket they were on. That
Right.
ship became
Their
Enterprise One or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the call was, letters were going to be.
Right,
It was Kirk's ship, and that was all you needed to have. I love that about it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I love about this is that Brock Peters connects to timeline. Get him
Yep.
back. Get him back. And then when we come back at the end, it's Brock again going, get
Yeah.
him back. Get him back. I was like, oh, that's my boy right there in the Monster Maroon. I love it. I love it. So that's what I loved about this film.
Yeah,
And that's why I let you go before me. You took two of mine.
Oh, yeah, come up with some more.
I mean,
Right.
I don't. I think for me, there's a lot to love about this movie. This movie was just enjoyable. It's just really enjoyable. And it was at a time when movies were being made to be enjoyable, right? In the 80s, like we had Indiana Jones and, we had all of these movies that were there for spectacle and fun. And you got to suspend your disbelief and you got to go to the movies for a couple of hours and just be relaxed. And then so I think particularly rewatching it now, it's of even more value to me now than it was when I was a teenager when it came out, because I needed to, I just, been rewatching it over the past couple of days and damn, I needed these laughs. I needed the fun. I needed the hijinks. I needed the extreme suspension of disbelief at every level. I mean, it just was so fun to be in the caper with them. I love how we start out.
caper.
Yeah,
Caper.
in
I
the
love
caper, right? I love how we start off it's a nostalgic feeling to be on the bridge or with the admiralty in a traditional Star Trek way, like disaster is coming, with all of our pomp and circumstance that we do in those scenes, right? And that felt great. And then it was great to not be there too. It was great to be someplace completely different. I had a couple of standout moments. Some of my favorite moments were Chekhov on the actual ship, the Enterprise. He was just, I thought he was brilliant in those moments. Those scenes were comic genius. I loved, of course, I loved McCoy in the hospital. I just adored that. I loved Spock, McCoy, Leonard Nimoy playing the straight man. When Kirk and Spock were teamed up together. And I mean, the comedic stuff that they did together, I thought was brilliant, and I could have watched a lot of that. And I think that they're unsung, I went over 3.
No, but I just to keep going.
But Yvette didn't, we owe Yvette 2 more.
That's
You
okay.
over
I got tons. It's no big deal. So I think you're right about the comic genius part, and I love hijinks. I love the because I think Stranger Worlds does a great job with their hijinks type of episodes, and this was the initial one. I mean, the hijinks were they were chef's kiss. They were so good. The punk on the bus, all of that. So I totally agree with that. My the thing that took me back, and I don't know if I guess I loved it. when I was telling you guys about, I just realized that when this was made, the reason why I did is because when it came on, they dedicated this film to the men and women of the Challenger.
Challenger.
And it kind of took me back, and that's why I was telling Sabrina, I had 3 tries to watch this show, watch this movie, because as you guys know, that is a poignant part of probably my existence. It affected me very deeply, and this had just happened. I was like, I was a freshman in college, but that January I was a senior in high school and watched this. So it took me a while to watch it again, but then when I did sit down and watch it, it made me realize how my geekdom is so ingrained in space travel and Star Trek, and it kind of put that together. So I love that now. At first I was like, ugh, do I want to watch this? But then when I got myself together, it was just great. And then, like Sabrina said, here comes Madge Sinclair,
Yes.
as I call her, Geordie's great grandmother, because that's just the way I see it. It has to be, his maternal great grandmother. And then I also I've done probably a lot of these. I've done like timelines, and this timeline, when this is happening, Curzon gets Dax's symbiont at this time. There was another thing, and I can't remember what it is. I think it's the first time an emergency is for Earth.
Planetary emergency?
Yeah, until the Borg is the next one or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there was something else, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, I love that part. I love that these TOS movies are so canonical, that they all work together. I just love that. And this one, I mean, how can you not love the fact that it saved the whales? I
Right?
mean, this movie alone made us save the whales. And I noticed I did not remember that video that they showed in the
Right.
aquarium. I was like, oh my God,
Right? That was really horrific, wasn't
that
it?
was
And I can't.
It was.
horrific.
And
I
I
was
think
like, what in the world? Wow.
what a way to use the vehicle
Yes.
to make a really poignant point. And like, people who are younger than us, I probably don't understand, because
Yeah.
the context of the time, because we're used to these images now.
Yes.
They use these type, but in the 80s, like this was still new. Like we were using these. We were not used to seeing the realities of situations, right? Everybody just got their fur coats and wore
Right.
the fur,
Right,
like
right.
with a complete disassociation that animals were being killed, until PETA started showing us how
Greenpeace
these fur,
started doing it,
and
right?
then Greenpeace started showing us what was going on in the oceans and stuff. And it was an awakening. Like the 80s was very much apartheid. The cover got pulled back on apartheid. The cover was being pulled back from so many aspects of our lives all around the world in the 80s,
Yeah.
and that's what that moment really represented to me, in a cultural context. It was like that. How risky and daring was that for this movie? It was great, and it worked.
It worked.
Yeah. They wanted this
worked.
environmentalist piece in the movie from the get-go, and they went through a couple of different scenarios on what it was going to be. And at one point, they thought about it being a disease, and there was something in the rainforest that they needed that had been destroyed. But then they said, well, we don't want to have scenes of thousands of people dropping dead, and so they nixed a lot of different things until they finally hit on this idea of the whales and whaling. So it was very interesting how they always knew they wanted to do this. They wanted to cloak the environmental destruction of the planet in sci-fi clothes, and again, they did it very successfully. Like you said, this was Nicholas Meyer, so that was really one of the things he put in his film. So they brought him in after Wrath of Khan. They were so successful with that, and I'll tell you something. You know me. I read the script, right?
Right, of course.
There was all kinds of script drama with this.
That's
There
right.
were multiple scripts. The very first scripts were written by two people who had a lot to do with, I believe, with Beverly Hills Cop, the other Paramount franchise. And at one point in this movie, I don't know if you know this, Eddie Murphy was supposed to star in this movie.
That's right, because he wanted to.
He wanted to star in it.
He really wanted to be in Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a huge fan.
And
So
he was a huge fan, and he was such a huge star at that time. That would have been like instant
at the same
blockbuster
studio.
success. Right.
Right. So they said they wrote the script. Eddie was supposed to be a professor who believed in aliens and that liked whale songs. And Paramount, this being a true Paramount studio picture here, we're not doing like offshoot production company. Paramount was making this. They were like, we're either going to trash both our franchises or this is going to be the hottest thing ever. And they chose to like, no, we cannot trash Star Trek and Beverly Hills Cop. So Eddie got the script, didn't like it, and then his character turned into Jillian.
And he did Golden Child.
He did right. Wow, Eddie. Well, actually, thank God for the Golden Child, because I don't know if I could have taken Eddie in this. I don't know if I could have taken that.
I want the knife, please. It's all I remember from Golden Child. Is him spinning that thing.
Wow.
Oh my God!
I don't remember nothing.
We didn't have that in Star Trek. No. So I think Nicholas saved the day. So there was a big fight about who's going to get writers credit, because that whole story went. And then Nicholas May and Howard Bennett get the writers credit because they totally redid the movie. But then the other two guys took it to WGA, sued, and got their name on the movie. And Nicholas Myers is mad to the day he stood his
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
because
Yeah,
all
that's
their
some
ideas
shiggity.
got thrown out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you remember the other idea they had that
Drama.
didn't get in this?
Which one? What was that?
So at the beginning of the movie, when the Botany Bay is taking off from Vulcan, Amanda and Lieutenant Savick are standing there.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
But I always said, well, why didn't she? I mean, they're going back. I mean, okay, she's not going to get on there, but when is she going to go back to Earth? But they apparently in the original script, she was going to stay on Vulcan because she was supposed to be pregnant with Spock's baby
With
from
Spock's
the
child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just giving you all the nuggets, people. If you don't know this stuff, here we go.
I mean, there's tons of novels with that.
Yeah.
There's tons of them. Yeah. When you said, I was like, oh yes, yep, I remember that. Because even with I was gonna say Sylvia, that's not her name in this. With Madge Sinclair's captain. So in the novel,
Did they name her? Her captain is unnamed, right?
No,
It's unnamed.
She just said it was the Saratoga colony.
right. So she in the novelization of this, she puts her because remember they're found out, they find it first, so that for a long time, so she puts her crew and herself in stasis.
Stasis?
I think so. I
Oh,
think that's what it
smart.
is, stasis. So she lives because that's what they didn't show her being killed, so
No,
I'm
they
not
did
going to
not.
say she was.
No, she came
nobody
back.
dies, right? Nobody dies in this movie, so she's
Nope,
fine.
that's what he said. Nobody dies.
She's fine. So she was not dead when we met her. So that's really good. I'm glad
Yeah.
to hear it. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize, so she's the first woman captain on screen. Not just first black, first woman
Wow.
captain.
First woman captain, period, on screen.
Period. Yes. Period.
Which is why she's unnamed, because we can
Which
get
is
you on
why
screen,
she is
but you damn
unnamed.
sure not going to have a name for somebody to call. That's too much now.
I call
Slow your
her
roll.
I call her great grandma. Great
Slow your
grandma.
roll.
She's not LaForge because
Calm down, people. We gave you a fucking screen appearance. What more do you people want from us? Sorry.
asking way too much.
You were asking way damn too much.
As usual.
But now she's
my
supposed to have a name like a real person? What? You better stop.
You know what? We can name her. We got to come up with a good name.
We got to come up
Oh,
with a
okay.
good name.
You got to come up with a good name. We got to find
Yeah.
out what was Sylvia LaForge's maiden name.
Oh, that's some research for you, Sabrina.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah, you're the research maven.
That's true. That's true.
Got to look at
I'll
some
take that
novels. I'm sure
challenge.
they're
I'll
in a
take that
novel
challenge.
somewhere.
So one thing I did want to bring up, because this was going around at the time from, the Gatekeeper fans, and not just the Gatekeeper fans, but a lot of other fans, is like this particular movie was not very Star Trek-y in a traditional Star Trek-y sense. And they did take some heat for that. They were talking about it in the Center Seat documentary, which is true, but that it was more of a crossover appeal. for this movie. But that was, to me, that's great because
Yeah.
what that does is broadens your franchise and brings more people in. Just like the J.J. Abrams movies, you know, they brought more people into the franchise.
Just
Those are not
Con.
my
Just like-
favorite movies. But
Yeah,
yeah,
just like
Con was
Con
crossover.
it's a crossover,
But
yeah.
it was crossover, but there was still a lot more Star Trek
A lot of
elements.
Star Trek.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
like this
I mean, if you
movie,
like
like you
sci-fi,
could've-
it's a great movie. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like you didn't necessarily need our crew
Right.
to go through this journey. It could have been any sci-fi crew could have
I
gone
agree.
through this journey.
I
True.
agree. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But it was our crew, yay.
it was. I mean, like I still love the movie. You know, but
Yeah.
I mean, that I did want to address that because that
Yeah.
was
I get that. Yeah.
a
totally
large
get that.
and continues to be one of the main things you hear about this movie amongst fan discussion.
Right. And among non-fans, this is always the one they say is their favorite Star Trek.
Yeah. The whales.
Right.
The whale movie.
Right.
The whale.
The one with the whales.
The one
The one
with the
whales.
whales.
With the whales.
Like, oh.
Got it.
And we
Gotcha.
just go, all right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to love about this movie too, because like one of my other favorite things about this movie is that reconciliation between Spock and his father
Oh,
at
gosh.
the end, which is
Oh,
beautiful
so
and
good.
heart touching and
Especially-
so many years in the making. What a
And
big
especially
payoff.
because we know so much about them now. You know.
yeah. Yeah. Well, now especially, right? Looking back now,
Nah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of so when I was watching it,
You and your Vulcan.
so much discovery stuff was coming to me as I
Okay,
was
like
watching
what?
this.
Do tell.
Well, the Spock and
Yes.
that
Spock
one, it
and
just
Sarek.
Spock and Sarek. It just made me think about, you know, the whole discovery thing and that they're not talking, and they were not talking. He's still not talking in Strange New Worlds, but so this is probably the first time they're actually talking. You know, so
Face to
it's
face.
right. And then now we know that, you know, how much he loves that we do know he loves his mother dearly. And when he goes, "Is there anything you want me to tell your mother?" And he
Yeah.
goes, "Tell her I'm fine."
Yes.
And I was
Yeah, I
like,
love
I
that.
feel, yeah, mhm.
Yeah.
of course, because that's all we
Bookend it.
want to know.
I feel fine.
feel
You know,
fine.
like I feel
I
fine.
feel
He made
fine.
sure to put that word in there.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
And then and then the other one was when Spock was, I guess they were still on Vulcan, and he was going through those questions. Those rapid questions. It made me think of what
Yes.
Michael had to go through in
Yes.
that learning center when they bombed the learning. Remember, she was going through all
Yes.
that, and
She
it
was
just
doing
brought
the
me
s-
right back
yes.
to that. So you know, it was like, see, it is Discovery is so Trek.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Who knew? Yeah, it definitely
Well,
made me
you
go
know
back.
me. Yeah, I was glad to see Sarek come on another tone because, you know, in the previous movie, the previous movie is the movie that set me off on him in the Vulcan. Well, actually, that's not even it. Sarek got on my last nerve right from TOS because,
Yeah.
I mean, Sarek came off the deck talking smack to Spock. I mean, he didn't even get on the ship before he was like, you know, I need somebody else to take me around the ship. I was like,
Yep.
who is this monk?
I know,
But
right?
Babel, yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, and then he really pissed me off in Search for Spock. And then so here, you know, this is almost my head scratcher. My head scratcher is here comes Sarek defending the absent Admiral Kirk against the Klingons, and I said, well, that's a switcheroo. I said, but then again, you know, Kirk has been living at the house for the last 3 months, so I guess,
Right.
you know, I
Right.
guess it's
So
okay.
like
So
they buddied up, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
they buddied up, and I was like, oh wow, okay.
And he saved his son, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, you
He
saved
saved
his son.
his son, you know.
Right.
That's because he was
Maybe
pissed
you're-
off
maybe
at him
you're
for
a
not
human
saving
son.
his son. For leaving his son. He was not happy.
Oh my
So,
God,
yeah.
that was something. So yeah, that was my. I was just like, all right, Sarek is gonna come around and be decent for this one, and actually was the guy that had to tell the president of the Federation, I think you need a planetary emergency.
Right? Like, hello,
That's what I said. Like,
nudge,
really?
nudge.
Why all of these Federation presidents so
Just
inept?
stupid.
Right, they're all dumb. Like they all get frozen at the first sign. It's like, oh, everything's fine in the Federation, so the president doesn't know how to deal with the disaster
That's
or
crazy.
an imminent
Insane.
threat or an
Here we go,
emergency.
discovery moment, another discovery moment with a
You know,
Federation.
I mean, they
person.
all get frozen, like terrified, petrified. Like, I don't know what to do. Can you guys tell me? Because you've actually been to space. I don't know. I mean, it's stupid.
Tarek was like, come here. You need to like another point for the Vulcans, okay?
Okay, so here's a question. Exactly what did Uhura do in this movie?
She was in it? I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you what she did.
Okay, but was she the one who realized it was whale song?
No. It was Spock.
Right. Why? That should have been Uhura. That's her jam.
Sure.
We gave
Okay,
it to Spock.
what did my sister do? What did they let her do outside and look pretty?
Got me.
She was on the screen.
Yeah, she was
all the time.
a lot.
No,
a
the
lot.
scene that tripped
Very
me
few
out
words.
was when Kirk went over to her and said, "Can you compensate for this for temperature, salt, water temp, and she just looked at him and said, like, he gave her 5 variables to apply to this clip of music that she had, and she said, I think so. Girlfriend took the nails and just went to the board, the Klingon board, tap a tap a tap tap tap. I think I got it. I just went, go on with yourself, sister. Go on with yourself.
Yeah, they did give her that moment.
I was going like, I don't even know what he just said. He wants me to compensate for
what
what
did he say?
and the what and the what and the what for underwater, the temperature, the salt, the thing, the speed, and this. And she just looked at him like, okay. I loved it. I was just like not phased. And she's sitting over there with a Klingon console, and I was like, give it to me. Give it all to me. Yes, my queen. Yes, my queen.
Yes, my queen.
No, she did. I mean, she was there the whole time.
She was in every frame.
Yep.
Every single.
She brought the
But she
photons
did
back.
have the fewest lines.
Like, she left my boy Chekhov right there. She said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it back to the ship." You.
Chekhov was like, "You go, take
go,
it back
girl."
to the ship." She's like,
Literally.
"Deuces." No, and then she goes, "I probably should have stayed." He's like, Kirk was like, "Yeah, no,
Right. No.
we needed the thing. Like, you're good.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you here." You know?
Needed the thing.
Yeah,
And
but
she was what was the other thing she did on that one? Oh no, that my other favorite scene is when Kirk told them to split up because they looked like a cadet review, and they still look stupid.
Yeah, that was funny. That
love
was
that
funny. That was one of my favorite scenes because
Yes, Laura just tucked her little uniform down, like, who's he talking to? I know he's not talking to me.
He ain't talking to me. She went,
she sure There's a little bit of cat action in that.
Yeah,
Here's
she
my
did.
butt. Here's my butt.
Right, exactly. I was like, okay.
but the thing I was like, did he get $100 for them glasses? And he was piecemeal. I'm
But he
like,
got like,
what did they give him? $10? It's like, what are they doing with $10? $20? Maybe they all got 20.
there's not a lot, so don't splurge.
Even 1986, that wasn't a lot of money.
You were barely going to get on that
Not
bus.
for no grown
even
person.
If you find exact change.
Oh, the exact change.
You're
That
not
was
getting any
hilarious.
food. Don't even stop for a hamburger or nothing.
Exact change. And they were in San Francisco too?
No,
So-
I know.
Okay, so here's the thing. That I mean, like we talk about this all the time, but damn, did they mess up the timeline or what? I mean, they were revealing themselves all
Everywhere.
over the
Everywhere.
damn
They
place.
did not care.
It's like,
didn't
no,
care.
not in the least. Like, here's a Klingon ship,
Yeah.
but now we're beaming up. Here's another ship.
Now you
we're
know
beaming
why
up.
those 2 guys that came on DS9 were so pissed at Kirk.
They were so pissed. It makes so much sense when you watch it all together.
Yes.
Oh, Kirk. Destroyed
guy.
the timeline.
Because they hadn't met Janeway yet. I always say that. I was like, well, they haven't met Janeway yet. 'Cause that trick right there, boy. I'm like, God damn, girl. Oof.
It was. That one time they even mentioned it. Well, how do you know he didn't invent the stuff himself? Scotty was like the transparent aluminum. And they were like, well, what about the timeline?
Oh,
Scotty's
that's
like,
right.
how do
They
you
were
know
giving him the aluminum, like
Yeah.
Bones. Bones
they
was giving out
referenced it. Yeah,
futuristic
I know.
treatment.
He giving out pills that
Pills.
grow bladders or colons or
kidneys.
something. Kidneys.
She grew a
was
kidney.
kidding. Right? I'm fine, she says. Like, I'm cured.
Like, wow.
Oh my
I
God.
hope they got that little, artery thing back, because I hope he didn't leave that there.
Yeah, I hope so, right?
Oh
They
my
still use
God.
that thing.
And you know what? That was the one time that Kirk actually called Chekhov Pavel when they were racing down the corridor, and Chekhov leaned up and he goes, "Not now, Pavel," and put
Yeah,
him back
that's
down,
true,
and they
yeah.
were racing. I said, "Oh, he called him Pavel."
Yeah, yeah.
He was so worried about his boy. Oh my
He
God.
was,
He's like,
yeah.
"We can't go anywhere. We got a man missing."
Yep.
But okay, one thing I really did appreciate about this, and I don't know, it wasn't there for the history of Shatner and Nimoy together. We've heard a lot of stuff and this, that, whatever. But when those two guys, and you mentioned it, Yvette, when those two guys are on the screen and they become Kirk and Spock, their chemistry is just magic. It is undeniable,
Yep.
and they are consummate pros.
That was me first, so
Yeah,
thanks.
I think,
that-
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, but never mind. It's just a little thing. Who
There's
cares?
a scene where, okay, whichever one of you two, I can't tell you two apart at this point.
I know, right?
When Kirk says, that was my favorite part, when they're coming into Earth, and Kirk hears the thing about, don't come near Earth, everything's all screwed up, everything's I don't know, and the man says farewell, and Kirk is like, he just sits down, turns around, and looks at Spock. The first person he looks at, like, he's just like, I don't know what we're gonna do. He's got his head on, his hands on his
Which
head,
part?
like. When
sorry.
Kirk first hears that Earth is in distress, when he hears the distress call,
Oh, okay.
and Kirk just sits down for a moment, like exhausted, like what the frick, now?
What now?
Yeah, and the look of exhaustion and frustration on his face, and he turns first to his boy Spock, like, what we gonna do? So nobody asked him to do anything, but they just assume I'm the one that has to fix all of this. It's got to be us. I mean, I don't know what other ship is out there doing whatever, but
Right.
we're gonna send a call back. Yeah, we're going back in time. We're gonna get some whales. We'll be back.
Time warp.
Oh my God. Suspension of disbelief. We're gonna slingshot around that sun again. It's the
Why
answer.
not? It works.
Let's
It works.
do
That's
the
how we-
time warp again.
That's it.
Just to jump to the left.
Right? Don't run into
I
that
loved
sun.
it. Watch out.
I love it. I love it. I swear I had so much fun with that part. Just with all of it.
Yeah.
know.
They were just like, all right, it's us again. We gotta save the universe,
Again.
or at least Earth.
Again. Right.
Yeah.
This time just Earth, right?
Right. Okay, so anybody okay, here's a head scratcher for me. I know that it was a big deal, like with the special effects people. I know there was a back and forth, and like it's like first one guy's gonna do it and it sucks, and now we got to get somebody to take over. But like the big long cylindrical probe, it was just so weird looking to me. Every time I saw it on the screen, I would like look at the image and be like, what am I looking at again? Like it was just like distorted. Like there's a ray coming down from one. It's just a damn cylindrical tube flying through space. We don't know where it came from. We don't know why it's there, right? It's just a
Right.
solid cylindrical tube somehow being propelled through space and knocking out everybody's power, etc. And then there's just this one beam coming down the front. It's just weird looking. That's one of my head scratches. I'm sorry, Star Trek 4, but every time it was on the screen, I was like, I don't get this.
I loved it though.
I
too.
do not.
I did.
do not.
Just like-
I loved it. It
I
looked
mean-
like it's so creepy looking.
Yeah, it was very creepy.
Was it creepy to you?
Yeah. it was
Yeah, I
creepy.
thought, like, what the hell is this
Okay.
coming?
Because I remember
sound made
watching
it.
it.
The sound made it.
Yeah, the sound.
The
It was
sound was
yeah.
great. The
Yeah.
sound was
Yeah.
amazing. But that sound could have been applied to any shape. I felt like. I mean, like they could have put anything on there. Like, I mean,
no.
it just, I'm
probe.
sorry. It was a head scratcher. It's not a like,
Yeah.
I hate it.
When I think of a
It
probe,
just is
I think
weird.
of that thing.
Ouch. Ouch.
Okay.
I got a little head scratcher.
I'm just going to leave that right there.
Move right along. Quickly.
There might be kids listening, so I'm just going to rewind and just leave it. Okay. It was just one of my head scratchers. Who else had a head
that's for
scratcher?
sure.
Any other head scratchers?
Is it E?
Yeah,
I don't care. It's
I
always an E.
did. Well, it's not really a head scratch because I think they did address it in there, but it was just like, okay, first of all, they blow out the dilithium crystals. Got it. Then Scotty says, well, we can't even recrystallize them in the 23rd century. But then Spock comes up with the way to do it in 30 seconds after Scotty said that. He says, but you know what? We could go get some photons from a nuclear thing and then we could just kind of like make it, and that could recrystallize them. I was like, well, where were you in the 23rd century? Why didn't you say that back in the, huh?
Probably because there was no, right? Did they still? They maybe didn't have
They were
that
using
anymore.
nuclear power.
Yeah, they wasn't
then.
using nuclear power then.
I guess so. But Spock came up with that so fast. I was like,
I know he sure did.
what?
What was?
It was like the time he decided, like when they said you can't cold start the warp engines, and Spock came up with that in 35 seconds too.
Sure
I
did.
was like, you know what? You're good under pressure, Mr. Spock.
He is. He's the man.
Right? You can't change the laws of physics. Oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Have you met my friend Spock?
Spock, stop crying and come in here. So, anyway, yeah, that was my head scratcher. That was one of mine.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
All right, I got another one then.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it was explained, but at one point, the transporter's not working to the point where Uhura has to come by herself, and they can't even get Chekhov. And I know they said the radiation, but how much freaking radiation could a ship be doing that the next time you use a transporter, you could transport 400 freaking tons?
But they weren't like.
But it wasn't
was
in
a
the.
nuke. It was like
Yeah.
I know.
there
I'm
was
saying
nuclear
like
weapons. Yeah.
how much radiation was there? It would have fried everybody.
True. You would think that you could get through the transporter to transport more than
Right. Your
one
transporter
person.
got messed up by an old ass ship throwing off some radiation. But then when you got away from that ship, no wonder the probe messed up everything. Because, I mean, if the radiation could do that, it was like, okay, now I'm going to transport. He goes, well, I've never transported 400 tons. I'm like, how did this thing even work it now?
Okay, we're just going. Yeah. Okay. I didn't
loved
understand the
it.
probe. We're gonna give her radiation thing.
I know.
It's
I thought that was just
it's
weak.
nuclear. It's nuclear also. So
Yes.
Right.
so okay, I have a head scratcher, but I actually found out it was a head scratcher in the beginning, but I looked it up and found out that it really wasn't the Enterprise because I knew that, it couldn't have been the actual Enterprise because it's top secret. So I was like, are they really supposed to be in there? But no, it was another ship. I don't remember the name of the ship, but it was a different, that wasn't the actual
Enterprise.
aircraft carrier Enterprise because
Okay.
that will, it has a nuclear fission, engine. There's no way, that's all.
They're filming on that.
There'll be no filming there. But it's some other engine, some other aircraft carrier there was.
I love
Okay,
that
well,
part when
that
he said
was-
it was
yeah.
the Enterprise.
That's all. That's the only head scratcher I had, but I looked it up to find out what was going on with that. So
But I liked it for the movie, for the story.
yeah,
I loved it.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I thought that was perfect because we all know
Yeah.
we all knew at that time that there was the aircraft carrier Enterprise out there. So that was pretty cool. That was really
Yeah.
cool.
Here's a question, and God, this is going to sound so stupid, but I'm going to ask
No
it in front of the
stupid
world
questions.
anyway. Did we ever hear back from Jillian?
After she went on the ship
in
with
the,
them?
Yeah,
in the,
after
in
she
the
went on to-
novels,
in the novels,
novels,
okay.
yeah. So no,
Not on screens, yeah.
no,
That was an argument in the script too, whether she was going to go with them or stay on Earth. So there was a big, Nicholas Mayer lost that battle.
she had to go with them though.
She had to.
She saw
knew
too much.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
saw too much. And
She wanted her
know,
to stay there and help repopulate the whales. But, they were going to make it like, no, the whales, Gracie and George and Gracie are the ones that did the repopulating in
Yeah.
the 23rd century. So
Yeah, I like that better.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind
Yeah.
it. I liked the ending. I thought it was good. Yeah, she
Yeah.
couldn't go back. They couldn't put her back there.
Yeah.
Now she knew too much, and they would have called her crazy, and she would have
And
ended
she
up
would
in
have been
some kind of
insane.
institute. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Would've
And then
been
it would
in
have
it-
it would have
been in
made
there
it
with
been a really dark
Benny Russell.
turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Should've
yeah.
been with Benny.
Probably right next door.
Right next to Benny Russell and a crazy ass Spock too. All of them would have been in there together. in the
my
white
God.
room.
Well, I wonder, we should
Drawing
have.
on the
Timelines
wall.
Is there? Do we have an insane asylum in Star Trek that's like Arkham in for
or
Batman?
Azkaban.
Yeah, we need one.
Azkaban.
Section 31 has one, I'm sure.
Right, I'm sure they
Ooh, I
do.
can't
We just
wait to
haven't
see.
seen it.
Right.
Can't wait.
Well, I'm glad that we got a chance to watch this movie over again. Thanks to the pod crawl. I almost said
Pod
pub crawl.
crawl.
Yeah, I did.
I know.
Thanks to the pod crawl. That's the two words. It gave me an excuse to go back and watch this. And because I'm not one who rewatches the movies a lot. I rarely sit down for a movie. Like I can't sit still for 2 hours in my own home at all.
If it's Wrath of Khan, I will.
And pay. Well, I'm not going to put it on. Like if it's on, I'll stop and watch
Right,
it. But like
right.
I'm always doing something else, and it's just got to be something else going. So like this was a really good experience for me to just sit and chill with the movie, and I loved it. I couldn't have chosen a better one for right now for me. Like perfect. It wasn't too deep.
Right.
We got to
was
see how we could
perfect.
spend time with our people. I was sad when the time ended with my people,
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you watch it again anytime soon?
Oh, after we get off of here.
That soon. Okay.
I love that movie. Well, I actually have been on that Paramount lot where they actually did that last water scene where they did the landing where Sulu does the Sully on the Hudson landing. Sulu, he lays that shit right down on the water. I got Sully got nothing on you, my man. Okay. Boom. And then I asked the question because, Shatner had some rewrites on this script, and I wanted to know if he wrote that last scene where he does the Shelley Winters Poseidon adventure, swimming and open the thing for the whales to get out. I was like,
oh,
why is that even in here? And I know
my God,
Shatner
that
wrote
was-
that in himself.
Not to be overshadowed by whales.
right.
Not to be. I said, who do you think he is, Shelley Winters?
I do love that final scene though, where they're all on the hull of the ship in the water together, and then they're all falling into the water, and like the looks of joy and glee on everybody's
Yeah.
faces. Like that's true, that was true times coming out there, and it was just great. That was just so much fun. Oh, I
Yep.
miss my crew.
They're in the Paramount parking lot. They flood the Paramount parking lot to do that. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing thing to see.
Wow.
Anybody that has not, if you're in California and you're in LA and you can get a chance to go to the Paramount Studios on a tour, go and see it because they will show you all the places where you really, where they filmed this movie. And it's just amazing how much of this was done on that studio.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
Movie magic, right? I love it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been really fun talking about this movie. I just really want to thank the Greatest Generation podcast for inviting us to be part of their pod crawl. And happy anniversary, happy 9th anniversary to the Greatest Generation podcast. And, we love you guys and we really appreciate having fun with you guys here. Check out our show notes for the other film reviews and the fundraising link for the National Center for Science Education. Please, y'all, we're calling on you to help raise some money for this organization, which does this amazing work. And stay tuned for a quick conversation with Mission Log, who will be covering the next film in the pod crawl. So welcome, John Champion and Norman Lau from Mission Log. It's great to see you all.
Hey, we made it. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having us aboard.
Thank you. I mean, this is really cool. So this is something Sci-Fi Sisters has never been able to do. First of all, is share any type of platform with our esteemed host from Mission Log. So this is a big deal for us, and a big honor, and especially for a geek like me, who Mission Log was one of my very first Star Trek podcasts I ever heard.
No
so
way.
I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping it cool on the inside.
Well, I love everything that you do, and obviously I've gotten to know you in different ways over the years, which is great. And like working with Yvette on Hofoco Trek Talks, and oh my gosh, talking to Fran with the Trek Files, and just all sorts of other ways, and hanging out at conventions. I feel like Norman and I got to be honorary sisters by doing this right now. I'm calling it.
That's right. Sisters from other mistas, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
We haven't heard that before.
And also, I mean, I was so flattered to be on that I decided to, because you probably started with Ken, because I came several years after Ken. So I decided, well, you know what? Let's kind of have the best of both worlds. So you have me, but I have a freshly shaven head today, so I'm honoring Ken.
There you go.
In that way. So
love it.
everyone is in the Mission Log spirit from
To
That's what's up.
maintain that
past and present.
consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love it.
We appreciate you, Norm. We appreciate you.
So we did number 4, the one with the whales.
Oh yeah, that
You
one.
had to phrase it like that, because that
course,
is just all the time now. That is how that gets phrased.
Don't
I
you think-
love that.
Whatever
Yes.
happened to, like, isn't there one with the nuclear vessels? So you have the whales and the vessels.
Right.
That's it.
Whales and Wessels. That's going to be
That's
the name
it.
of my country pop album. Yeah.
That's the album. That's the album drop for
It
this
is.
That's it.
particular
That's it.
segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a rousing drinking song. The whales and the whistles.
Have Picard sing it.
But I have to ask you. So everybody now has listened to you talk about the one with the whales. We have not, as of this recording, because these have not come out yet. Did you find new ground to tread? Did you find new things to say about this movie just because you get to look at a movie now with fresh eyes? Maybe it's been a while. What was it like for you?
You take it, guys.
I found out what each sister didn't like about that movie that I didn't know before.
Wow.
So
okay.
in a sense, you've shared your secret pain.
Probe. Why didn't you like the probe?
There we go.
The probe. Yeah.
Probe. That was a big item of contention. The probe.
We did.
Wow.
But I think I think we also a new appreciation for it. Because I think we all saw it in the movies, when it first came out. But there was a new appreciation for it. It's a really good movie. I think we've all said that. You get a lot of stuff in this movie. Canon is, there's more canon to love about TOS, and it just I think the nostalgia was the thing that we all felt with this, because it was so good to see them. And I don't know if we're big movie fans, where we're more I didn't say the TOS movies.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people who that's their thing, the TOS movies. Right.
Yeah.
That's how they came into Trek, where we came into it through, the television shows.
Correct way.
Interesting. Yeah. But I get that, though. And I think that's what's cool about this pod crawl is that there's a lot of people who grew up watching these movies on HBO, and, they weren't even necessarily tuned into the TV show, but, the one with the whales is on, I'm going to watch that. Or, so
John,
I get that.
Let me do you one better, John. Also on VHS.
Please. Yes. Yeah.
Remember those
Yeah.
things?
Most
Remember those
definitely.
things? You pause, rewind, eject,
Yeah.
that kind of
You
thing.
guys
Yes, we
remember
kind of
moving all the boxes of the VHS tapes? Like if you ever had to move during a time when you had VHS, you had to pack up all those. Oh my God, those were heavy boxes.
They take up room,
VHS
they
tapes.
rattle around.
Cassettes, CD players. You don't bring like anything really important. Like clothes,
Right, no.
or personal effects. You got to make sure your media is with you.
You
That's the important thing.
You got to. Oh my gosh, my stuff is still down in the basement. I refuse to open up the bin because I don't know what I'm gonna find.
Right.
But I know they're in there.
I hear that.
It's not all or nothing you need.
You might find nuclear vessels.
You might. Right.
Right.
I mean, we also talked about how Ahura is in this like everywhere, but does absolutely nothing.
Oh,
Oh,
Just looks good.
She looks fly.
looks
just
great.
looks good.
Yeah.
She looks smart. She looks beautiful, and she looks smart. Right.
Right.
See,
But she does
got
nothing.
it. They got it with her with the costumes, but we mentioned they did dirty for Sulu. Well, actually, he has the leather jacket in this.
yeah,
he does,
he's got
yeah.
the great line. It's like San Francisco.
Yeah.
I was born there.
Yeah,
Special guest appearance by George Takei. We'll send him the check later.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. But Walter, he suffers the most when it comes
Yeah.
to wardrobe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
Ahura just
awful.
leaves him there. She's like,
Oh,
two
stop.
fingers.
Yeah.
See you later. I gotta go.
Okay,
Just
for real
left
though,
him
we
there.
could talk about this part.
We
all
could.
that's
day.
true.
Yeah,
That's
Which
true.
would be like
Yeah.
a whole nother show, and I think
Right.
we need to make people wait for that because that's,
Yeah.
that's special. That would be a special thing. So
That is
but you
great
got-
moderating skill right
Yes,
there.
yeah,
That was
bravo.
awesome.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah.
trying. So on to your movie, like you had number 5, right?
Yeah,
Right.
the one with
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
The one with God. Yes.
The one with the marshmallows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. So what
Yep.
were your? I mean, like we all have our opinions of this movie, but what was the common ground that you guys found?
I thought we were getting punished. I thought Adam and Ben, when I saw the list, I was like, I mean, I think I stupidly said, like, we'll do whatever you want. And then I see us parked right there at number 5. I was like, oh, wow, really now?
Yeah.
No,
You know?
I have
Yeah.
to be honest, John. So
Yeah.
when we got that movie, I texted you and I said, please be 5, please be 5, please be 5.
Yeah.
Because it was, I woke up that morning saying, I want to make people really rewatch this movie
Yeah.
and really find something that they can be positive about in this
Yeah.
movie. And it's certainly not Michelle's performance in this. Not like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you think 4 was scarce, 5 was scant.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Except for the bit with Scotty. That was kind of cute. I liked it.
You see, all right. I don't want to give it away, but if you listen to our full review, I think Norman and I part ways on the effectiveness of the humor and et cetera. Like, I appreciate when Star Trek injects humor into it, but it's got to be earned. It's got to be good. It can't be making jokes. And to me, it feels like a lot of making jokes. You feel
Yeah,
differently.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I understand that. And I completely see it from a narrative standpoint. But there's the scene in quote unquote the greatest Star Trek episode of all time, City on the Edge of Forever,
Yes.
where Kirk says he was caught in a mechanical rice picker. I mean, that's not earned. But we all love that line anyway because that's
Yeah,
Of the time,
but it's a blip. It's a blip in a heavily dramatic episode where everything else. Well, okay, then you and I will have to review City on the Edge.
So basically, John and I
and
agreed
now-
from saying we're in mission log together, and then we
Yeah.
agreed at the end when we were done. And you're
Yeah.
gonna have to listen to the rest of it.
But look, for me, this is what's so cool is because we covered this on Mission Log full on 10 years ago, something like that. And it was great to catch it in that kind of breakneck pace of doing all of TOS and then TAS and then the TOS movies. But to get to revisit this with Norman and have a fresh conversation and revisit a movie and just a crew that I haven't watched together in a while was really cool. I don't know if our conversation changed my mind a lot about how I felt about this movie, but it definitely reinforced the things that I feel about this movie. Not entirely negative. Definitely not. The only spoiler that I can give for our conversation is to say that, you know what, I still come away thinking that it is a poor production of a great Star Trek movie. And you'll just have to listen to how we kind of parse those elements.
That's a really good teaser.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
It just, does it fire on all cylinders? No.
Well, yeah.
You didn't change your mind all that much. And the thing is, to be honest with you, I didn't change my mind all that much either. I fell in love with this movie when I saw it in '89.
Oh, man.
And if you don't mind me plugging what I really think should be done about this movie, I think we should take the Cybok one-man show a la Sean Connery
Yeah.
and, try and bring it to Broadway, because I really do think that
That's
there's
it.
going to a whole different dimension to bringing Shybok, to
Yeah.
the stage.
This is the only way.
I should say.
This is the only way. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
As much as we love Luck and Bill, because Luck and Bill was
justice for Cybok. Yeah.
exactly Shybok.
Yeah. By the way, something we didn't get into, they teased it back in Strange New Worlds season 1.
Yeah.
There's Cybok. He exists. And then nothing. And I would love it if they brought him. Maybe that will come.
Yeah,
I don't know,
maybe.
but
I think it is. I think we're
Okay.
getting him. I think we're getting him this season.
I hope so. And I hope
Yeah.
they do that justice.
They felt the
Everybody
scriptwriter's
else in the
pain.
family.
Exactly.
So for your episode of this here pod crawl, can folks just catch you on Mission Log?
Yeah, I hope they do. Find us at missionlogpodcast.com, and you can follow us at Mission Log Pod on Facebook and at Roddenberry Podcasts on Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky, all that stuff. I think that's correct. But yeah, missionlogpodcast.com, that'll be the place. And then obviously everybody needs to go to StarTrekPodcrawl.com. They need to donate to the NCSE. And thank you. Thank you for doing this, and thanks to everybody else who's a part of it. I'm going to forget, but it's Seventh Rule, Greatest Gen, Next Conversation, Women at Warp, us. Wait, who did I leave out? Oh, no. Somebody. But we love you all.
Yeah.
We love you all. Yes.
Oh, yes.
We do. We want to say happy 9th anniversary to the Greatest Generation podcast. Woohoo!
Bravo,
Yay!
yeah.
It's amazing. 9 years. I mean, like we're just such new kids on the block. We're still about to be in our 5th year, but 9 years and more. This is outstanding, amazing. And
How long has Mission Log been around? 20?
Going on it. Yeah. Yeah, this will be our 13th year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. See,
Still a lot to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we started doing this podcast when we were in our early teens.
Yeah,
early
exactly.
20s.
right? Clearly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
Foxy Daddy over there. All right,
Flattery
guys.
will get you another appearance. That's a
That's
promise
for
right
damn
there.
sure. Yeah.
Juan is here. Go ahead.
All right. I'm just going to say thanks again, Greatest Generation Podcast, for inviting us to the pod crawl. And check out our show notes for the links to the other film reviews and the fundraising link for the National Center for Science Education. And the National Center for Science Education promotes and defends accurate and effective science education because everyone deserves to engage with the evidence. So that's who we're raising money for, y'all. I hope you contribute in a huge, huge way. You guys, we love you. Thank you so very much. Yvette, can you let everybody know where they can write to us or give us their thoughts about Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home?
I sure can. You can find us at sci-fisistas.com. That's SYFYSISTAS.com. Join us on the mothership. That's MUTHASHIP. And the Sci-Fi Sisters Book Club, both on Facebook. On Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, sci-fi.sisters. And under the blue skies as Sci-Fi Sisters. For more interviews, the live show, and our infamous Top 10 series, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sci-Fi Sisters Inc. Become a patron of Sci-Fi Sisters today at patreon.com/Sci-Fi Sisters. The Trek Geeks Network's presenting sponsor is Fansets. Go to fansets.com for pins and memorabilia from all your favorite franchises. Visit fansets.com and use Trek Geeks, all caps, for their exclusive 10% discount. After listening to this podcast, please rate us and write a review. We may just read it on an upcoming episode.
And of course, we would be remiss if we did not shout out our amazing associate producers. Ha ha Fooled you. We love you guys, and we can't do these shows without you. Thank you, Karen Dramera, Stephanie Baker, and Sailor Marj. You guys are amazing human beings. Thank you so much for your support. And also, the baddest engineer in any and all known universes. He's Dose, the anonymous one, and he's responsible for all the audio engineering you hear on our show, as well as the music. And if you are in need of his services, hit him up at dose_the_anonymous_1 on IG. And that's it for us, y'all. We've had a lot of fun. Thanks again. Love you. Peace, love, and hair grease.